Alright everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'll be doing my unboxing of the Google Pixel 7a. Now I'm a little late to the game on this one here. It's been out for a few weeks, but I got it here now. So I'm going to do my unboxing, give you my first impressions, and just give you my overall first thoughts of the phone. So I got the box here, of course. A pretty thin box, so you know it ain't going to include much. But anyway, these little pull tabs here. Let's go ahead and pull those off. Just similar with the other one here, good other direction there. And we'll go ahead now and pull the top off of the box here. Of course, got the Pixel 7a right there on top. Got that nice blue color there. And not much else comes into the box other than your data transfer cable, Type-C to Type-C cable there. Of course, got your SIM injection tool here and your booklet, stuff like that in there. And that's pretty much it. So the phone is now in hand, and the first thing that I have to address is the color of this phone. Now they call it a sea blue or whatever, but you know that I have to call this Carolina blue all day long. Alright, Carolina blue is the official color of the Pixel 7a. Yeah, gotta represent Carolina here. But anyway, very beautiful color. I love how they kind of fades into the camera bar and along the frame of the phone here as well. Just a beautiful color. I believe the last lighter blue that they had for a Pixel was the Pixel 4a. And so now I'm glad they brought it back here on the 7a, and with that glossy look, it just is a beautiful look here. And so you know the Pixel lineup. Okay, you've seen them. Unboxings everywhere and everything. It looks a lot like a Pixel 7. I mean, pretty much plain and simple. Got it right here beside me. Yeah, you can barely tell the difference between the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7a. I mean, the camera bar is bigger on the 7 than on the 7a. But if you look here at size, standing them up here, you will see, of course, that the 7 is a little bit taller there as well. You know, a 6.1 inch display here versus 6.3 inch display on the Pixel 7. And I do like how the camera bar here is a bit slimmer. It does not stick out as far here on the 7a. So anyway, on the right side of the phone, you have your volume and power button. On top, you got your antenna lines with your microphone. On the left, you got your SIM card slot. And on the bottom, we have a microphone, Type-C charging port, and bottom firing speaker. And on the front here is, of course, your 6.1 inch display. Let's go ahead. We'll give it a boot. All right, little vibration there. I thought it was dead. But yeah, Google. Got a really nice uniform look here on the phone. Little hole punch camera here. Very excited to test this phone out against other Pixels and other phones and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll get the phone all set up and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time going through all the settings and going through everything with this phone. You know, it is a Pixel, stock Android, and there's not much really changed at all from other versions of the Pixels, the newer Pixels. I'm going to go through a few things, and I really didn't go through much time setting it up. I just basically set up the biometrics, fingerprint scanner, face unlock to show you that, and I will show you a few little key things in the phone. And I will be doing a lot more coverage with this phone with other Pixels, as well as I'm going to try to do like a 72-hour, follow-up with this phone. So, I don't say this normally in the beginning or the middle of the video, but if you're not subscribed, be sure and consider subscribing. Click that bell for all post notifications when I release new videos. That'd be very much appreciated. So with all that being said, I'm going to give you some of the specs of this phone just to give you an idea of what you're getting for that $499 price tag. And you're getting quite a bit here, starting off with the display. You have a 6.1 inch Full HD OLED display coming in at 1080 by 2400. It is a 90 Hz refresh rate. It's got a 20:9 aspect ratio with 429 pixels per inch. Now for the processor, this does run the Google Tensor Gen 2 chip. Okay, so you are getting the 7 and 7 Pro chip here in this phone. And in my opinion, it's a very good processor. Now for the RAM and storage, you got 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's up from 6 on the 6A, so that's a good thing. And storage is 128 gig. Unfortunately, I don't think you can go any higher than that here from what I'm seeing. Now as far as the cameras go, you got 2 here on the rear, and they're new sensors they put in the 7A. The main sensor being a 64 megapixel wide angle lens, aperture of f1.9 with optical image stabilization. Got a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle lens with aperture of f2.2, and you can record at 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second, which we'll check all that out here in the camera section of this video. Now the front camera is 13 megapixels with aperture of f2.2 and can record at 4K at 30 frames per second. Now the battery is a 4,385 milliamp hour battery with 18 watt wired charging and 7.5 watt wireless charging. So 18 watts, not really fast charging anymore, but hey, you know, the battery, it's not too bad, okay? Now this phone does have corner and Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. It says it's got aluminum frame. I could have swore it was a plastic frame, but it says it's aluminum, so I'm going by what it says. And it has a plastic back, which honestly, if you didn't tell me and you handed me the Pixel 7 and the 7A, I couldn't tell the difference between the glass on the 7 and the plastic on the 7A. It done a very good job here with the back plastic cover here on the back of this phone. It is IP67 dust and water resistance. However, I don't encourage anybody to ever dunk their phones in water. I don't care what the IP rating is. And a few other things is it does have dual stereo speakers. It has an under display optical fingerprint scanner, face unlock. It does have Wi-Fi 6E tri-band, which is nice. USB Type-C 3.2, NFC, and some other stuff that we'll get into later. So turning the phone around here. Now the fingerprint scanner works very well here on this phone. I mean, it just works every single time that you press it. I have done this numerous times off camera and I've not had it fail one time. Now as far as the face unlock, it can be a little tricky at times, but right now, I mean, it is very fast, as you can see. Yeah, I mean, very, very quick. Now, it's not going to be as secure as other phones, and many will make a big point of that. But anyway, the display, very beautiful here. It is very uniformed here. Now, it does have some bezel on the top, sides, and the bottom. And honestly, it's about time to kind of get over the bezels on phones, okay? It's definitely not going to interfere with your viewing experience here on the 7A or any phones that's got some bezel around it, okay? So we need to honestly, just need to get over it, you know what I'm saying? Android 13 here, you can expect it to be fast, very fluid. You have 90 Hz refresh rate, wireless charging here on the phone. Now, I don't have any Wi-Fi turned on the phone, nothing like that. I mean, I got nothing set up, but you drop down here, typical stuff, your flashlight, battery saver, auto rotate, we'll turn that on right now, and all that stuff right there, typical stuff that you always see. Now, I'm not going to hit on a whole lot here in the settings, because basically, you know, a lot of them are the exact same settings and everything. Connected devices, you can see here, this does support, of course, Bluetooth, NFC, casting, printing, Chromebook, Android Auto, nearby share, all that stuff there. Down here at battery, of course, with that battery size, we got to see how it's going to, I mean, battery life is always subjective, okay? So it takes a little bit for it to learn your usage patterns. So if it's not good at the beginning, don't just come up the first day and say, oh, battery life is horrible, because it's a learning process. You know, it gets better over time. Now, 11% storage has already been used right out of the box. So you got 114 gigabytes free out of 128. Sadly, no SD card slot, but hey, that's just the way it is. Now, going down here, you know, if you want to turn on the 90 Hz refresh rate, okay, going to the display, got all your stuff here, screen timeout. I didn't have to change it to 10 minutes because 30 seconds, it just, yeah, it goes that way too quick. And down here at colors, you got adaptive and, you know, natural, which is nice. And down here, you will see smooth display. So it raises it from 60 up to 90. And it's adaptive, I think. If I'm not mistaken, it's adaptive. So you can force it to always be on 90 Hz, I do believe. Don't quote me on that, but you know, this right here should be fine, to be honest with you. So back out of there. Now, if you want to change your app grid, of course, then you go into wallpapers and styles, change your wallpapers, your colors, all your icon themes can be changed. Okay, it's just a lot of good customization here on the Pixels. And 5x5, you have 4x5. I then changed it to 5x5 because I prefer that over 4x5. But anyway, let's go back in here into settings and all that good stuff there. Well, we'll try to anyway. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now you have your accessibility options. So, you know, if you need anything in the accessibility, you know, it offers everything, you know, display size and text, color and motion, extra dim, magnification, all that you need here in accessibility. Down here at system, there is a system update. I think it's on the March security patch, so it's definitely going to need updates and everything. Got your gestures, so you got your quick tap to start actions, open camera, flip camera for selfie. If you want your 3 buttons at the bottom, you know, you can have that there as well. You see right there. So yeah, you can have that if you want to. Tap to check phone, lift to check phone, flip to your phone. Now press and hold power button. So right now, if I was to hold down the power button, it's going to take you to this. Now, I think this is one of the stupidest things they implemented in a lot of phones is hold down the power button to talk to Google Assistant. Because there's like 500 different ways to open it up. But they want to access it with a power button. So, if you want to change that, you just push that and just go to power button or power menu. When you hold down the button, then your restart, power off, lockdown, all that pops up. So, that's nice to have that there. And that's pretty much all I want to hit on there in the settings. But just turn on that 90 hertz. You can tell that, I mean, the smoothness is a lot better. I mean, even 60 hertz is not that bad, okay? A brief look here in the camera, and I will wrap up with my final thoughts here of the 7A, just pulling it out of the box. So that just turned on by default. Okay, we'll just push done there. So you got your camera, your portrait, your long exposure. Okay, I never used that, so we'll just get rid of that. Got your night sight, of course. Video mode and modes here, panorama, photosphere, and lens. So here at video, you are able to record at full 1080, 4K, at 60. Now, if you are at 60 frames per second, you can't use speech enhancement. At 30 frames, you can turn that on or off. And honestly, it does help. So, yeah. And other different settings in there as well. You know, we got to test these cameras out. Now, like I say, normally I don't do camera tests on my channel at this time. But I do have an Instagram account, and I do take pictures, little random pictures here and there. I will throw them up on Instagram. I will leave the watermark on, or I will mention the phone that it's been taken on. So if you ain't followed me on Instagram, links down below in the description if you want to follow me there. So we'll turn the camera around. You can see me right there. It's got a very ultra wide selfie camera from what I'm seeing right here. So camera and the video mode, you can record in 4K. Okay, so 4K, 1080p at 30 and 60. So honestly, 1080p at 60 is fine as well. And you can cut on and off speech enhancement at full 1080. But of course, if you're at 4K, it is at 30 frames, so you can have it on or off if you want to. It's always a nice little feature. So, you know, first impressions is the fact that, you know, it's basically, you know, has the same, you know, internals as the Pixel 7, you know, with the build of a 6A. And I love the color. But overall, really nice phone. I like it. So that's all I'm going to say about it for now. So if it's helpful for me in any way, if you enjoy seeing this on my channel, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it below. If you're new here, not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I would sure appreciate it. And turn on that bell as well to receive all post notifications of future videos to come like this and others. And I would surely appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.